a few signs someone is autistic. There can be there are many signs someone can be autistic because no two people are exactly the same, which is why this focuses on a few signs. Autism looks different for anyone. That can depend on things like age or environment or just how they were born. For infants, they might play with their toys differently, like lining them up or concentrating them in front of their face, directly staring at it. They might show more interest in objects more than people. They might start reading early or they might start speaking late. Just because your child started reading early does not mean they are an endless battery and you should overwork them forever. For children, they might have quote unquote strange behaviors like flapping their hands or swinging their bodies or jumping around. They might show no interest in interacting with other kids. They might repeat words or noises they hear randomly, even if they don't understand what they mean. Just repeating noises or repeating themselves. Or having an obsession with a certain topic, and it can be a movie. You have a child and their whole life is a movie or something like that, or their whole life is a certain topic. If you have a kid like that, there's a chance they're autistic. They might say words or make noises that you won't understand or don't make sense, or just repeating random noises, or repeating random words, or just making noises. They might avoid eye contact, and they might have a lot of empathy, but it won't be obvious. But they do. This is like when someone is saying, when someone's talking to them and they said, I just tripped and I hurt my knee. An autistic kid would be like, oh, last week I hurt my knee. This is not them trying to make the conversation about them. They're showing empathy of, oh, I felt that too. Um, Having a quote unquote good memory. Again, just because your child started reading early or has a good memory does not mean they are a never ending battery. They deserve some time to rest, and they could be autistic, and they have the right to their support needs like any other autistic child. Having quote unquote childish interests, and I should put this in a million quotes, it can be kids shows that are like not for their age, and it's fine if they like kid shows that are way underage. It's fine. They can like kid shows that are way underage. They might hate bright lights and or sunlight. Something Sunlight or bright lights can be something they absolutely cannot stand. They might walk on their tippy toes. You will see them walking on their tiptoes, doing everything and not even realizing they're walking on their tiptoes. And these things that I mentioned can also apply to teenagers or preteens or teenagers. For teenagers or adults, this can be being introverted or hating loud noises, being obsessed with a certain schedule and will have a meltdown if something goes wrong. These things can also apply to children. And having depression, this is more in autistic women, but also there for autistic men. And the reason for this, the reason the autism depression rates are sky high, is because um, unfortunately, when autistic people don't receive the diagnosis and support needs, this can lead to real mental illnesses when autism itself is not. Hating physical touch, also a thing with children. Having ADHDs, or since it's common for one to have ADHD and autism, and the same thing applies to OCD. Or in having chronic pain, autistic people have higher rates of chronic physical health conditions across the body for some reason. And these things that I mentioned can also apply to kids. Just because someone doesn't have some of these signs does not mean they're not autistic. They don't have to show every single sign of these. They can they can be walking on their tippy toes, they can be making the noises, they can be repeating the words, they can be reading early, but it doesn't mean that they're not autistic because they don't have a strict schedule or because they don't hate the noise. Just because someone doesn't have a few of these signs does not mean they're not autistic. They don't have to show every single one of these. And I think that's it. Yes, that was it. Thank you for listening. Um, now that Autism Month is over, I still encourage people to learn about autism, even when it's not during Autism Month, to keep learning about everything, to stay curious about the people that they share a world with, and yeah, thank you for listening. Goodbye.